We have a 2-hour boat ride before we make it to the Galapagos Islands. I take in the beauty around me, the glassy ocean water, people laughing and interacting, the lush green islands in the distance. I sit and think, I couldn't be any happier. All I needed was some good friends in this earth of ours. It was at this moment I realized that nature makes me happy, calm. It's a cure for our problems and stresses of life. We don't need iPhones, designer clothes, nice cars, or big houses to be happy. Nature's our playground. It was when we were kids, but what about when we're adults? We should treat our environment with more respect and care, like the people of the Galapagos do. My name's Jack Brunswick. I want to explore how the culture of the Galapagos people relates to their environmental attitude. We take in the beauty of the islands, white sandy beaches, sea lions sprawled in the shade, crystal blue water stretching into the horizon. When traveling between islands, we cannot bring organic materials, even small bits of dirt stuck on our shoes. This diligence to protect cross-contamination of islands is one of the many efforts to preserve the wildlife on the islands. Upon arrival, our bags were sniffed and searched by canine units that detect unwanted fauna in customs. Throughout our trip, we saw several Ecuadorian Coast Guard boats in the ports as well. We visited the Charles Darwin Research Center on Santa Cruz Island, an active breeding center for tortoises, finches, and other species. The Charles Darwin Research Center is funded by the World Wildlife Fund and other like-minded organizations. My experiences from this trip inspired me to actually become an active WWF member and donator. The Galapagos Islands were the source of Darwin's theory of evolution, and it remains priceless for the scientists of today to study. Some issues these scientists tackle today are illegal fishing, non-native species, and the demands of more than 160,000 tourists each year. They all threaten this irreplaceable ecosystem and the people who depend on it. Many species of shark are targeted by the Asian market for shark fin soup, especially the Galapagos shark, an endemic species. Sea cucumbers are hunted by large industrial boats for medicinal purposes in Asia as well. Since 2009, the World Wildlife Fund has used satellite surveillance systems to track the routes and activities of fishing vessels. When swimming in the ocean with an elderly local named Franklin, I learned he had been a fisherman his entire life. Our discussion revealed he has a passion for the ocean and all of its marine life. He believes in sustainable practices and protecting the environment. He said that the Galapagos is doing its best to maintain a balance between conservation and commercial fishing. I could tell by his mood and sheer amount of joy from swimming that he sincerely cared about the islands. Here we met Toby, a puppy who was being trained to track goats, one of the invasive species of the islands. I thought it was crafty that the Galapagos people were utilizing one of the harmful introduced species, dogs, to hunt another, goats. Feral dogs and cats disrupt the food web by eating tortoise eggs and iguanas, while goats destroy the endemic plants. While hiking up the volcano, my roommates and I had some time to talk with our tour guides, David and Pablo. We began discussing boy stuff like video games and TV, but they couldn't relate. David told us he hadn't come across a TV until he was 13, and that media and technology didn't play a major role in their lives. Pablo spent most of his time surfing, he said. They told us that they spent most of their time as kids outside playing and exploring. I had a realization that their childhood memories are closely rooted to their environment. Just like American kids are obsessed with their favorite TV show or video game, the youth of the Galapagos has a connection with the outdoors, their playground. This is one of the differences I found between cultures, that they value the environment much more than we do. I realize their perspectives may be enhanced due to their career. They know a lot about the environment and interact with people from all over the world on a weekly basis. However, I've lived in America and Australia, giving me an improved point of view when regarding first world countries and their environmental policies. The meals in Galapagos are much smaller portions and healthier, with options of fresh fish, beef, or chicken with rice. David and Victor explained that the restaurants would frown upon wasted food, something I experienced firsthand. In America, we toss out pounds of uneaten food each week. Take only what you need, our tour guides would always emphasize. I enjoyed my stays in all of our accommodations. They were small, simple, and got the job done. There was minimal use of water, gas, and electricity, something I didn't mind. As I sit in my room editing this video, I realized how much I have consumed in a day, let alone a year or a lifetime. In the future, I believe the Galapagos will continue to do well in protecting its biodiversity and ecosystem, as long as it can protect its maritime boundaries from outside influence, such as excessive tourism or commercial fishing. If nothing changes, Earth will run out of seafood by 2048, that's 30 years from now. My children may never taste fish in their lifetime. If the Galapagos environmental culture could rub off on the US just a tiny bit, a lot could change. But I'm hoping for acceptance to the United States Coast Guard Academy, where I was initially undecided about my major, but this trip has inspired me to pursue marine environmental science, where I can do independent research and guard the coastal waters of the US. Victor, our tour guide, always told me, "Today is the best day of our lives. We aren't guaranteed a tomorrow. Let's take action to make sure that the species of the Galapagos in the world have a future." Thanks for watching.